It's October 13th, and I'm out here in the high tunnel. As you can see, things look quite a bit different. The tomatoes were taking off, going crazy. I took and pruned them up, pruned all the limbs below where it set tomatoes. I still like my little Craig's grape or atomic grape tomatoes. This one here is just about right. You can see the colors in this thing are just let's say really cool. We got another one over here that's almost ripe, and as you can see, we're loaded up with cherry tomatoes. We got some bunch of reds right here. We've got all our little plants going here. It'll be a little while on the onions. They take about 8 to 10 weeks normally, so we might get lucky and can do it in about 5. But we still got our broccoli and stuff going here. I really need to get these out, and my lettuce and collards and kale and some cabbage. They're small, but it's about time to take and put them out. My squash over here, it's been making squash, but they've been really small. I don't know, this has just not been a year for me for squash. But we'll keep it there a while longer. See, hopefully we'll get something. But you can see down here, these are black cherries, and you can see these things just load up if they're fertilized good, and they're starting to ripen up. I picked these this morning. Bunch of these will be ready tomorrow. This one here looks like an odd man out. It doesn't look like a black cherry. You can really tell the difference by the way these set kind of just a wild cluster. This tomato is setting branch truss like a lot of your cherry tomatoes. So it's got in there, it's different. We got some Craig's Grande jalapenos. They're starting to get some size. They're really loaded up. They're not quite as big as I'd like to get them, but they're really getting loaded up with peppers there. I think here in a day or two I'm just going to get a few and get me a little beef and some mushroom, bacon, and we're going to make a wrap. And we have I'm going to call these French beans. This is just a really big pod. They're filling out good. A lot of them's way up top, so I pulled just a few off here today that were starting to yellow and get their color, so they were time to come off, good and filled out. And as you can see, the tomatoes, well, they've done past the 10-foot mark. They're growing off up into the never land. We have some more red tomatoes, cherry tomatoes over here. We have some yellow tomatoes. These are my bigger red tomatoes that are cherry tomatoes that I save seed from. And we come up here, we got these odd looking tomatoes here. These are red pears. They're actually a beefsteak variety. I have to come back out here, and I've been putting hangers. They start clustering up and hanging up. Now this is one from the same seed, but for some reason this was kind of odd. It set like a cherry tomato version. But as you can see, they'll get up some size on them. That'll probably be 2. If it does good, it'll be at least twice as big as that. And then I have some Amish paste up here. I've picked a few this morning. They're starting to to ripe up. And over here, these haven't really performed as well as I'd like. Of course, it's kind of late, and I don't know if these were, maybe I got my seeds mixed up and these were some I saved, but I thought these were some I purchased for celebrities, but they just might not have been all that great of seeds. And as you can see up here, the cucumbers, they're still making, but they're starting to give up the ghost. You can see they're starting to fall down. Their little tendrils are not holding them up good, but they're still making pretty good considering how bad a shape they're in. We got a clear area here. We got a couple potatoes. We're going to take these out, and we're going to also, whenever we laid this greenhouse in, we built the beds up with compost, but normally we compost with some pine bark compost that I had when I harvested some trees, and we put it in the middle, and we didn't, and it's been setting low, so it's been kind of puddling water here. We're going to go ahead and pull these up, and plus we put our rows in 3 foot wide. We're going to do like we've done on a lot of the others. We'll fold them down to 2 foot so that the beds are the width that they need to be. They won't be setting in narrow like it is right now. But our cilantro's still doing good. It looks like some of them starting to raise up. Those of you that hadn't grown cilantro, when you start seeing the stalk shoot up like this is telling you it's going to seed. So if you're going to preserve it, which I'll tell you, cilantro really keeps good in the refrigerator. I mean in the freezer. So what we do is we'll pick it green on a lot of it, and we'll vacuum pack it. So whenever we need fresh cilantro, like if we're going to make salsa or something, we can just thaw that out and put it in, and you'll never know that it wasn't fresh cilantro put in there. Now I have a few seed trays over here, which these are not very good at all. They had some lettuce. I hadn't been over here watering. As you can see, that it's died down. My one little lettuce that did survive took, and it's give up the ghost. Here's my other onions. These are not really doing as well as I'd like, but they're at the stage now. These are big enough. This is usually when I start putting them out. I'll put them out real small like this. These weren't planted as heavy as the other ones, but I have the different varieties. I have bunching onions, and then I have the Spanish whites, which is one that I've got over yonder. So I'll take care of those. Now the carrots, some of them's getting a little bit of size. A lot of them's just stubby. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm thinking tomorrow we're going to pull these out. We'll pull the onions out and put them out in a row, and we'll replant this with maybe some greens or another batch of carrots. We're not sure. And then we'll plant after we fix these rows, we'll plant the end of this one the same way, and we might underplant. We'll start some lettuce and get ready, and we'll start underplanting all the tomatoes. That way we'll have a good amount of lettuce. We do have one tray. We're going to plant it in the other greenhouse. We've got it kind of weeded, so we'll go in there and rejuvenate it, and I'll take and tie up the peppers. But anyway, as you can see, things change, constantly change, and but it's still looking good. We're getting closer to the end of the season. Hopefully things will keep producing and we can keep crops going. If you want to see more of my videos, of course, hit that subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. Happy gardening.